What's up, everybody? Welcome to I Am Boo. Thanks for stepping through. All right. Beyond Omega Level, Cosmic Armor Superman from the YouTube channel Comics Explained. In a recent comment section of one of my videos, I think it was a Sentry vs. Superman video, I was talked about, Superman 1 million Prime. And then someone came in and was like, what about Cosmic Armor Superman? I never heard of Cosmic Armor Superman before. I thought 1 million Prime was peak Superman. But I said, hey, I guess I'll check out this this Cosmic Armor version so I can see what the hell's going on. So let's check it out.
What's going on, guys? This is Rob, and if you're enjoying the content here on my channel, then make sure you hit the like button and make sure you hit subscribe so you can help decide what direction the content on my channel goes in the foreseeable future. Oh, RobCore. Why did you guys have to ask for such a difficult character? Cosmic Armor Superman is a cool idea, it's a cool name, and it's like a really clickbait title, but this guy is so ridiculously difficult to do. I wish you guys had asked for Martian Manhunter, right? Like, that video would be 5 seconds long. Omega, beyond Omega level, Martian Manhunter. Dude's just like Superman. He's got telepathy, he can shapeshift, and he's afraid of fire. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace. Like, that'd be the easiest video ever. But you guys had to ask for Cosmic Armor Superman. Well, I aim to please. So we are going to cover Cosmic level or Cosmic Armor Superman. Man, I really hope you guys enjoy this. At the very least, you better drop some likes, better be seeing some comments, because this is crazy. So the reason why I think this is going to be such a difficult character to explain is because he only has one appearance that I know of in all of DC Comics, and that's the Superman Beyond tie-ins to the Final Crisis event, which was only like 2 issues long. But Final Crisis itself is one of the hardest to explain comics by Grant Morrison, a writer who's pretty much known for writing comics that are hard to understand. Now, one of the things that Grant Morrison is particularly obsessed with is the concept of the DC multiverse. So it should come as no surprise that in order to understand Cosmic Armor Superman, we're going to have to understand the multiverse itself, which I'll try to explain in the least confusing manner possible. So as far as the physical makeup of the multiverse is concerned, the first thing we need to understand is that there are 52 individual universes existing simultaneously within the multiverse. Now, there are certain characteristics that these universes have in common, like having different versions of the same people on each of them, but there are also several factors that make these universes unique. For example, the mainline DC universe that we're familiar with through modern DC Comics is designated within the multiverse as Earth Zero or Earth Prime. This is the universe where Kal-El came to Earth as the last survivor of the planet Krypton, was raised by Jonathan and Martha Kent in Smallville, and then went on to become Superman. This is the universe where a young Bruce Wayne sees his parents murdered in Crime Alley in Gotham City and decides that it's reasonable to beat up people in the middle of the night dressed as a bat. The universe designated as Earth 33, on the other hand, is the universe that's representative of the one that we live in right now, where you're watching this video, where people do not have powers and where superheroes only exist in comic books, movies, and television. So 52 of these Earths exist within the multiverse, and they're held together by a force or an energy called the bleed, which basically takes up all the space between the universes, and of course that's something we'll refer back to later on. Think about it like this. If the different universes in the DC universe are bricks, the bleed is the mortar between those bricks that holds them together. Now, outside of these 52 universes, which together make up what's called the Ori of Worlds, lies the sphere of the gods, which houses celestial worlds like heaven, the home of basically DC's God, as well as his angels and the Spectre, the embodiment of God's vengeance, hell, which is the realm of the demons and fallen angels, New Genesis, the home of the new gods like Highfather, Orion, and Mr. Miracle, and even Apocalypse, which is ruled by the villain Darkseid. There are other planets within the sphere of the gods as well, but they're not really important to our discussion of Cosmic Armor Superman. What we really need to understand, however, is the concept of the Monitor Sphere, which exists beyond the sphere of gods and is separated from it by a realm known as Limbo, which exists beyond our concepts of matter and memory and yada yada yada. The Monitor...
As a DC fan, this is the first time I'm hearing Limbo? What?
Sphere is home to an extremely powerful race of beings known as the Monitors, which we're going to explain here.
So I know about the Monitors. I know about the Anti-Monitor. I'm pretty sure the Anti-Monitor was in the Darkseid Wars. Is that New 52, I think? Let me know in the comment section. But, okay, I didn't know all the background story about the Monitors. So they're from this Limbo. Okay, I learned that today.
here because they're critical to understanding how powerful Cosmic Armor Superman is. Originally, the Monitor was simply just one guy who oversaw the entire multiverse and had a counterpart called the Anti-Monitor who oversaw the antimatter universe. However, both of these characters were basically killed during the original Crisis on Infinite Earths event back in the 1980s. Now, following this, the origin was completely changed so that there was originally an entity only known as the Over-Monitor who discovered the multiverse along with the Bleed. Now, after a while, he basically divided himself into smaller entities called the Monitors, each of which were tasked with watching over one of the 52 universes. Now, the first of these Monitors was named Dax Novu, who would later take a wife among the other Monitors named Zilo Vala, and the two of them would have a son named Nix Yotan. Now, after some time, Dax Novu realizes that the Monitors can actually feed on the multiverse like a parasite, and that as a result, the multiverse can be destroyed. Now, after he reveals this to the other Monitors, they simply lock him away in a tomb because he's a crazy person, and he transforms into a villain called Mandrak, the Dark Monitor, who's basically a vampire that feeds off the life force of the multiverse itself. Now, as Mandrak escapes from the tomb, we're finally introduced to the subject of today's video, the Cosmic Armor Superman. So what happens is that in response to the threat of Mandrak consuming the multiverse, his wife, Zilo Vala, visits Superman, who's waiting by the bedside of his wife Lois Lane since she's like really sick and she's in a comatose state. Now, Zilo offers Superman a cure for Lois in exchange for his help. Of course, she explains that Lois can be cured by the Bleed, but that no one except the Over-Monitors are able to bottle or store the Bleed. Now, Superman agrees to help and soon finds out that Zilo has recruited Superman from all over the multiverse. Included on her team are Overman from Earth 10, a reality where the Nazis won World War II, Captain Atom of Earth 4, Shazam or Billy Batson from Earth 5, and most notably, Ultraman of Earth 3, which is home to the Crime Syndicate of America, basically an evil Justice League. Now, as for what Cosmic Armor Superman actually is, he's actually a robot that was built by the Monitors to protect the multiverse from the ultimate evil, Mandrak. Cosmic Armor Superman is powered by the combined energy of Superman and Ultraman, and is fueled by memories, symmetry, duality, and all possibilities and probabilities. That's
okay, so it's not Clark Kent, technically. It's not organic. It's a robot, more or less a robot that was created.
Why you'll sometimes see Cosmic Armor Superman referred to as the Thought Robot. These are basically just two terms that can refer to the same entity and can be used interchangeably. But the Thought Robot is said to exist in 4 dimensions, and since we can only perceive 3 dimensions, that means that the Thought Robot is untethered by the bounds of the multiverse, meaning that he's quite literally at a beyond multiversal level. Now, as far as what powers Cosmic Armor Superman has, explaining that is a little bit complicated due to the fact that he's only appeared in 2 issues, with the vast majority of what he does taking place in the second half of his second appearance in Superman Beyond #2. So first, we need to take a look at what he actually does in the brief time that we see him. And basically what happens is that he battles Mandrak, who again is a being that is more powerful than anything or anyone that exists within the multiverse. And he withstands all of Mandrak's attacks and ultimately defeats him using the powerful energy blast that he emits from his eyes. And while that may pretty much be the only feat that we see out of Cosmic Armor Superman, the fact that he was able to defeat Mandrak in and of itself means that Cosmic Armor Superman is beyond multiversal level threat, which would easily mean that he's beyond Omega level. And since he's the only version of Superman that we see that performs feats on a level greater than the multiverse itself, that's why I said earlier that I believe he's the most powerful version of Superman that we've ever seen, even beyond Superman 1,000,000. Now, in terms of what Cosmic Armor Superman's powers actually are, well, they're basically everything. He is cosmically omniscient, meaning he's aware of everything going on in the entire multiverse. We see evidence of this in the fact that while he's battling Mandrak, he's able to hear a single heartbeat of Lois Lane, which in terms of the multiverse would have been infinitely small and difficult to detect. He of course has super strength, durability, speed, flight, and he can create powerful energy blasts. All that stuff is basically par for the course. But what Cosmic Armor Superman really is a plot device.
I was about to say
to be a jerk.
I was about to say, this sounds like the literal definition of plot armor. He's more powerful than the plot itself, basically.
to basically be like, this guy sucks. The reason why I say that is that one of his abilities is the ability to adapt to whatever he needs to be in order to defeat whatever threat he's facing.
There it is.
So whatever powers he needs to be victorious, he's gonna have them, which means that literally there is nothing or no one that will be able to defeat cosmic level Superman, because he will simply adapt and equip himself to be able to defeat it. Grant Morrison confirmed this in an interview with IGN, where he equated the Overmonitor, referred to as the Overvoid in Final Crisis, to God in the form of a blank page, and the Overmonitors were his tool of interfacing between the page itself and what was written and drawn on it. Extending this concept then, the Thought Robot is in reality just a tool used by the monitors to undo any changes to the narrative of the multiverse that they didn't like. In this case, it was the existence of Mandrak, but it could have literally been any threat that came along. Maybe it was Comic Storian with his goofy hair, because Benny has dumb hair. But Cosmic Armor Superman basically exists to function as the ultimate retcon, able to alter, create, or erase anyone or anything from existence within the multiverse. And so yeah, in terms of what happens to him after he defeats Mandrak, he simply kneels down and etches the words "to be continued" on a tombstone that he refers to as his own. It's implied that this is the last time that we'll ever see him, as he's dealt with the threat of Mandrak and is basically no longer needed. Superman and Ultraman separate, and Superman returns to his home planet and delivers the encapsulated bleed to Lois, and she makes a full recovery, because when you're Lois Lane, that's what you do. So that's pretty much it, guys. Cosmic Armor Superman. This is by and large the most confusing topic that we'll probably ever discuss when it comes to the Omega Beyond Omega Levels series. You guys asked for it, so I gave it to you. But Cosmic Armor Superman is just kind of crazy in terms of the things that he can do. I mean, he's literally just a guy that can do anything. Whatever it is he needs to do at any given point in time. That's just the way it is. So it kind of cheapens him. It kind of takes away for like how powerful he could be. But
we don't need to see him anymore.
Anyway, guys, we're going to go ahead and bring this video to an end. If you are new here to Comics Explained, make sure you guys hit
that is like beyond OP. It's just the most powerful being in the entire, well, in the beyond. in the, I was about to say multiple, in the beyond. So there's no reason to bring this character back, because there's nothing that can defeat this character unless they create some type of other beyond threat that's even stronger than him. But then, you know, you're just playing the same game over again at that point. You're just creating more plot armor for plot armor. So yeah, I guess something interesting they popped out with for what, 2 issues or something like that, but there's no need to bring anything like that out again. I guess it's cool to see, but I would not take, I don't want to see any fan battles or anything like that that involves this version of Superman, because what are you going to do against it? It's what's the point of even making the fan battle? Like, we already know what deal it is. Cosmic Armor Superman can be anything, do anything. So I don't care to ever see this version of Superman. Not interesting to me. I already think Superman's already OP as hell. And I'm not saying Superman's not interesting. It's up to the writer. Anyway, that's all I gotta say about it. I appreciate y'all for stepping in. Now I have knowledge of cosmic armor. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified. See you on the next one.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.